All right, example 3A, we're going to be verifying triangle congruence. So we're going to show that the triangles are congruent for the given value of the variable. So here we're trying to show that these two triangles, MNO and PQR, are congruent when x equals 5. So if you see this here, we already know what the values are for MO is equal to 6, NO is equal to 5, and MN is equal to 7. But we don't know what these values are because they have they're written as algebraic expressions with variables in there. So, but we know what x is, so we can figure out what these values are. So the first step is to figure out what these values are. So let's go ahead and do it. So the first one, let's just do here PR. So, that's not a P. PR is equal to 3x minus 9, and we're going to figure it out when x equals 5. So we're just going to substitute in, right? And it's okay if we just do the work and don't show this part as a big, fancy proof. So we're just going to show our work. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 9 is what, 6? Okay, so that's PR. Then we need to determine PQ. So PQ is equal to x plus 2. And we just stick in the 5 there. 5 plus 2, which is equal to PQ, is equal to 7. So we have, what do we have? We have PR, and then we have PQ, and then we have, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? We have, I'll use purple. Yeah, purple will be, use red. QR. QR is equal to x, and x is equal to 5, so this one's pretty simple. QR is equal to 5. Okay, so if we were to write in those values, this is 5, PR is 6, and PQ is 7. You can see that 5 and 5, those are the same. 6 and 6 are the same, and 7 and 7 are the same. So what does this look? How are we going to be able to say that we can prove that those two triangles are congruent? If you're thinking side to side, you would be correct. So now we just need to go ahead and show that on our paper. So the first thing we're going to say, remember we just need 3 pieces of information. So let's go ahead and say that NO is congruent, line segment NO is congruent to QR. That's the first thing. The second thing would be, let's go with the 6. MO is congruent to PR. And then the third thing would be MN is congruent to QP. And we have all 3 sides, so we can say that triangle MNO is congruent to triangle PQR because of side, side, side. Okay, that's how you solve the this first problem. Let's go ahead and look at the next one, example 3B. So this is just verifying triangle congruence. It says show that the triangles are congruent for the given value of the variable. Triangle STU is congruent to triangle VWX when y equals 4. So this is very similar to the last problem. I think the only thing that is different is, well, we're dealing with y's instead of x's, but that's not really that big of a deal. But in this one, if you look, we have a side and we have two sides, right? And then we have an angle. I wonder what what the direction of this problem is going. Well, let's go ahead and write down the information that we have here. So we have WV equals 11. We have WX equals 7. And then we have, I'm just going to call it angle W equals 92 degrees. And remember up here when I was talking about the line segments, I put a line on top of it, but that's because it's a congruent symbol. Here, when I'm saying what the values equal, you don't put the line on top, you just write the equal sign. And here you just put angle, you don't put measure. Oh, shoo, I need to write measure of angle. I'm tripping. Measure of angle W. That is correct now. Okay, right. And then for here we have some other values that are algebraic expressions that we need to figure out what they equal. So let's start with the first one. How about UT? So UT is equal to y plus 3, and y is equal to 4, so we just substitute that in. UT is equal to 7. Okay, I'm going to change the color. Maybe dark purple this time. Let's do the next one. Let's do this angle. The measure of angle T is equal to 20y plus 12, and y equals 4. Substitute it in. Times 4 plus 12. 20 times 4 is 80. And then we just have, what, 92? 92 degrees. And lastly, we need to determine what ST is. So ST is equal to 2y plus 3, and y equals 4. So we substitute that in. Two times 4 is 8. And there we have it. So let's go ahead and write in these values. UT is 7. So this is 7. Measure of angle T is 92 degrees. And ST is 11. So what do we see? Ooh, 7 and 7. That means these sides are the same. I see an 11 and 11, so that means these two sides are the same. And 92 and 92, so these, oh, 92 is right here. 92 and 92. And look at that angle. It is included in those sides. Those two sides are the sides of the angle, right, on both. So this would be a side, angle, side, side, angle, side. So we can show that these two triangles are congruent, but we have to say those three pieces first. So the first piece of information is, let's go ahead and say this side. UT is congruent to WX, and we got to use the different format. And then let's go ahead and say this side here, ST is congruent to VW. And lastly, the angle T is congruent to angle W. And because of that, we can say that these two triangles, triangle STU is congruent to triangle VWX, because side, angle, side, they are some sassy, these are some sassy pair of triangles right here. So perfect. That is it for that problem. Now it is time for you to check it out and try this problem on your own. Check it out, problem 3. It says, show that triangle ADB is congruent to CDB when t is equal to 4. All right? So here's my friend the pause dragon. I remind you to pause your device. Go ahead and work this problem out. When you get done, press play and we'll talk about it together. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, let's see how you did. So there's a lot of things here that we need to do. We need to figure out this one, this angle, and also this side. So side, we need to figure out this angle and that side. Okay, let's get started with it. So I'm going to start here with AD. AD is equal to 3t plus 1 when t is equal to 4. We're just going to substitute in. Order of operations means that we do the multiplication first. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1. CD. Let's go ahead and figure out. Okay, so now we know AD is 13. So this is 13. Let's go ahead and figure out CD. I'm going to change the color. Equals 4t minus 3 when t is equal to 4. Substitute in. Okay, order of operations, do the multiplication first. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 minus 3 is 13. Okay, so this one is 13 as well, which means that these two sides are the same. Perfect. And then we just need to determine this value right here for this angle. So that would be angle, oh, let me change the color. Measure of angle CDB to t squared when t is equal to 4. Okay, we're going to substitute it in. Okay, we got to do order of operations, which states we have to do that exponent first. 4 squared is the same thing as 4 times 4, which would be 16. So we're left with 2 times 16, which means the measure of angle CDB is equal to 32 degrees. Okay, which is the same as this angle, so that means that these two angles are the same. Okay, so what are we dealing with? We have a side here, which is congruent to this side. We have an angle, which is congruent to this angle. All we need is this side right here to be congruent to itself. Oh, wait, of course it's going to be congruent to itself. That is the reflexive property of congruence. So we can state that these two triangles are congruent because of side, angle, side, and side, angle, side. These are some sassy triangles, okay? So let's just go ahead and write it all down. So let's start here. Okay, we'll go here. Let me change the color. Can I still get it all in? Okay. I think I'm going to write it up here just to make sure you can see it on everything gets in. So AD is congruent to CD. So AD is congruent to CD. That's my side. I have my reflexive property of congruence, right? We know that BD is congruent to BD. Okay, and reflexive property of congruence. And then lastly, we know that angle ADB is congruent to angle CDB. And then, so we can say that these two triangles are congruent. Triangle ADB is congruent to triangle CDB, because of side, angle, side. So there you have it. So if you got all that right, yoku denkimashita, you did a wonderful job, and I'll see you in a little bit for example 4.